इंट्रोडक्टरी स्लाइड. हा
सर सुरुवातीला सर तुम्ही म्हणाला त्याप्रमाणे तुम्ही टेक ओव्हर कराल आणि त्यानंतर मग तुमचं झालं की मग मी चालू करेन.
येस 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 येस.
पटेल सर नमस्कार.
सर
पटेल सर प्रणाम.
We are live.
प्रणाम.
We are live. We should maintain the decorum of the this dais. Yes, we can have a talk, but with the decorum of the dais. Yes, Dr. Davarkar.
It's really pleasure, Hemant Gangolia, that you are organizing such a nice CME. I don't know why people are somewhat lethargic, but let us hope that you will record this and then we will circulate to all.
Yes, 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 yes.
So good evening हेमंत सर. नमस्कार. डॉक्टर चंद्रमोहन पटना से ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ.
अरे
नमस्कार.
नमस्ते सर. नमस्ते सर. नमस्ते
सर नमस्कार.
सर कैसे?
बस ठीक है सर. वो बेला मैम ने कहा कि अच्छे टॉपिक है तो मैंने कहा बिल्कुल आज नहीं मिस करना है.
अच्छा अच्छा. Welcome, Dr. J.K. Gupta, sir. He is a
Welcome, sir.
chairperson
Thank you,
of
sir.
IAP medicolegal chapter. Welcome, Dr. J.K. sir.
Thank you, sir.
गुड
Welcome
इवनिंग
to you
जेके
all.
सर. नमस्कार.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar, sir.
Good evening, all of you.
Namaskar, sir.
सर नमस्कार सर. द ओमनी प्रेजेंट सर. नमस्कार सर.
So, always wanting to learn from all of you.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir. Namaste. Namaste. You may not be knowing me, sir.
Gangule sir, am I audible? I just wanted to check. Hello, sir. Gangule sir.
Pardon?
Sir, am I audible?
Good evening, all.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
Rajendra, you are audible, but echo will come. I think so. You have joined by two devices. You
Okay.
just make the audio system of the one device close. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think so. Let us wait for Satish Sharma sir to come and then we will join. We will start, I think so. Huh? Namaste, Rishi Bhatia sir.
Hemant, sir, it is nice to see that IMA is also joining medical legal protection day.
हाँ सर आवाज कम आ रही है आपकी.
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि ये अच्छा लग रहा है कि IMA भी ज्वाइन कर रहा है मेडिकल
Yes,
लीगल
yes.
प्रोटेक्शन डे सेलिब्रेशन में.
Yes,
तो बहुत
yes.
अच्छी बात है.
Maharashtra,
कैनवास बढ़ रहा है.
Maharashtra IM has taken lead in that, and they are celebrating 3 sessions they have kept on Sunday.
Sir, this topic is common to all, and they
Yes.
believe that pediatricians are much better in academics and research. So we will be coming out with the more recent judgments and more recent ideas.
जी सर, हम लोग लास्ट ईयर से प्लान कर रहे थे कि कोई एक डेडिकेटेड डे होना चाहिए जिसमें हम लोग मेडिकल लीगल रिलेटेड एक्टिविटी अराउंड द कंट्री अराउंड द ईयर या करते रहें और पूरा कंट्री में सब जगह कर रहे हैं. तो उससे ये हुआ कि सेंट्रल IAP ने एक दिन हमारा डिजिग्नेट किया और बाकायदे लॉजिक के साथ हम लोगों ने इसको कराया. और ये डेडिकेटेड डे है जिससे कि हम मेडिकल लीगल अवेयरनेस को पूरा ऑल इंडिया में स्प्रेड करने का बीड़ा उठाते हैं.
Little digression. Wish you all Valentine Day. Whoever has got the.
Valentine Day to all, sir.
Thanks. Welcome, Dr. Bela madam.
Sorry, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, madam.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Dr. Bella Verma.
Good evening, Bella ma'am.
Bella madam, Dr. Davadkar here. How are you? Bella madam.
Sir. Hello, Gangolia sir.
We will wait for 2-3 minutes, then we will start. Huh? Yes, Dr. Rajendra.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, Rajendra. Any problem?
Sir,
Yes.
am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You are audible. You are able to hear us? Rajendra, are you able to hear us? Rajendra.
Hello.
Yes, we are able to hear you. Are you able to hear us?
माझ्याकडचा ऑडिओ डिस्कनेक्ट होतोय सर.
आमचा आवाज येतोय आता?
म्हणजे
आता
तुम्ही
येतो
बोललेलं
आवाज?
मला ऐकायला येत नाहीये.
आता येते?
Satish sir, good evening.
Anji, good evening, everyone. Very good evening. Dr.
Good evening,
Hemanji, Dr. J.K. Gupta, Dr. Shekhar, Dr. Shekhar
Satish
तो हमारे
Sharma
पुराने
ji.
मित्र हैं, Dr. Srinivasan,
Good
Dr.
evening,
Nitin,
sir. Good evening.
Rajesh Gangwar, Dr. रमेश पटेल और प्रेसिडेंट भी हैं हमारे और भी पुराने साथी यहाँ पर हैं, डॉक्टर अविनाश बंसल हैं.
बावड़कर सर है.
हाँ जी. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Satish
sir.
Sharma ji, you look like a hero. Wish you a Valentine Day.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Belavaram ma'am, good evening, everyone.
Dr. Avinash Bansal is there.
Yes, yes.
Welcome, Madam Kalpana.
Yes, sir. Good evening, all. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good
Kalpana ji.
evening, madam.
Namaskar.
Kalpana Datta. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir.
Rajendra is there? Rajendra?
He was just
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Yes.
सर चालू करूयात का?
Any problem with you? Audio
नाही
video
नाही.
everything is okay?
हा मगाशी होता थोडा कम्प्युटरला म्हणजे लॅपटॉपला होता प्रॉब्लेम बट नाउ इट इज नॉट देअर.
Dr. Vishal, are we YouTube on live?
Sir, what do you need?
Vishal, are we live YouTube?
Yeah, we are live, sir.
Yeah, okay. So I will just share this introduce slide. Rajendra, we should start. Nishigant
Yes, please, sir. Please, sir.
is there. So I will.
Yes, sir, yes.
So we
अरे
will
नाही
just-
तुझा फोन येत होता ना आम्हाला हा टेंट मिळतच नव्हता शपथ सांगते तुला आम्ही अशा वेळेसाठी आता बॅगा घेऊन फिरतो गाडी अलीकडे चित्रवली आपण टेंट
इकडे असं बघा आलं असतो परत तिकडे गेलो परत इकडे आलो परत तिकडे गेलो आयला
Nishigant?
हो सर आहे. नमस्कार सर.
Namaskar. You are in travel.
प्रयागराज हो.
You are at Kumbh Mela probably.
यो हो.
Yeah. Yes.
I will request everybody to be just
Sir, Raigad is in which state? I'm sorry to, I don't know.
It's in Maharashtra, just south of Mumbai.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chandramohan. Thank you.
So the Panvel is in Raigad.
Hello, Dr. Chandramohan.
Ji sir, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Raigad is a district near to Mumbai, and from that Raigad district, very renowned doctors like Dr. Dabhadkar sir, who was vice president of IAP, and Dr. Gangolia sir, Dr. Chandorkar sir, Dr. Vinayak Patil sir, and lot of pediatricians. It is a hub of all the things.
Thank you very much for kind words. Should we start, Hemant?
yes. Did you had the presentation? Rajendra,
Yes, sir.
we have seen presentation was visible, na?
Yes, it was
Yes.
visible, sir.
Yes, start now.
Yes. Good evening, all. Respected patrons, seniors, invitee guests, dear colleagues of Raigad Medical Association and IAP Raigad. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you for this important webinar on medical legal protection for doctors and medical legal issues related to medical profession in our day-to-day clinical practice. The initiative is taken by IAP Raigad President Dr. Vikas More, Raigad Medical Association President Dr. Nishiganda Athavale, under the guidance of none other than medical legal expert, our very own dear Dr. Hemant Gangolia sir, who is the faculty speaker for this webinar. Well, IAP Raigad is under Sir's guidance and initiative has always been doing some amazing work and advocacy in medical legal field. The discussion, I'm sure, won't be pertaining to pediatric fraternity since we all are pediatrician, but the subject will be covered in general, which will be useful to general practitioners, family physicians, as well as consultants as well. So without wasting time, I hereby request our President of IAP Raigarh, Dr. Vikas More, to share his thoughts on this occasion.
Vikas More has joined.
Dr. Vikas?
I will just call him.
Vikas sir is an emergency. I called him.
Okay, no problem. I request Dr. Nishigandha Athavale to please share his thought on this occasion.
First of all, I would like to welcome all the dignitaries and all stalwart field in the field of pediatrics. And sorry, I am not in my town, so I am joining from some other place, Prayagraj, from Kumbh Mela. And Dr. Gangulia sir, he was president of RMA, and under his guidance, we have learned a lot of things. And being a pediatrician, being a medical legal expert or a LLB or law graduate, and as a very, he is a very caring and humble person, and he looks after RMA as his child or as his patient. So I'm really glad to attend this session, and I wish all the best for the lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nishigandha. Dear all, we are having stalwarts and seniors of not only IIP Raigad but from Raigad Medical Association also. We are having our own senior colleague, Dr. Chandrasekhar Dabhadkar sir. Everybody knows him. I wish he shares his thought on this occasion. Dr. Dabhadkar sir?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, please.
So thanks, Dr. Chandorkar. Today's expert speaker, Dr. and my friend, Dr. Hemant Gangulia, our senior surgeon from Raigad, Dr. Ramesh Patel, all dignitaries, President of Raigad Medical Association, Dr. Nishigandha Athavale, Dr. Rajesh Gangwar, Dr. Chandra Mohan, Dr. Rashmi Mehta, Dr. Satish Sharma sir, who is Secretary of IAP Medical Legal Cell, and everybody from IAP Raigad and Raigad Medical Association, AHA Raigad. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Medical Legal Cell of IAP at national level and then the IAP Raigad also for organizing such a nice function. Friends, as you know well that nowadays doctors are facing very bad days as far as medical legal cases are concerned. There are a lot of incidents of violence, lot of incidents of medical legal cases, and for that purpose, even somebody said that almost 80% of the doctors, and rather than 80%, I will say almost 100% doctors, they are working under stress because of the law. Either it is not interpreted well by either police or dignitaries, and then doctors come in a problem. कानून तो उनको भी बराबर मालूम नहीं, कानून हमको भी बराबर मालूम नहीं, and because of this we face lot of problems. So for this, IAP Raigad and RMA organized this session. I wish every success to these seminars, and I am sure that in future Hemant Gangulia sir will take interest, and we are waiting for a lot of such seminars in Raigad district. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rajendra, for calling me. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Friends, we are having our senior colleague, Dr. Ramesh Patel, sir. He is past president of Raigad Medical Association, and he is patron also. So I wish he shares his thoughts on this occasion.
Good evening, one and all the dignitaries and attendees to our today's webinar. I think what Dr. Dabhadkar said is that very correct. The 100% of the population of doctors are under stress, and our attention gets diverted because of the fear of medical legal issues arising of the after that case. And more people in society will suffer if this continues, because now we will be very skeptical in accepting critical cases in our day-to-day practice. And it's a loss to the society, which I think they should understand as early as possible. Like previously, I am in practice for last 40 years. Previously, they used to say कि डॉक्टर पटेल ने हाथ लगाया फिर भी पेशेंट बच नहीं सका. Today they will say that डॉक्टर पटेल ने हाथ लगाया इसलिए पेशेंट मर गया. So that's the difference, and everybody has to be clear in his mind. He should know his capability, he should know his limitations, and do the practice. As doctor, we never wish ill of our patients, but I think the really patient and the relatives don't understand this, and sometimes there are allegations. Another thing is about communication gap, which we have been emphasizing time and again. That you take your relatives, patient into confidence, tell them the line of treatment, tell them the outcome, prognosis, and I think part of the problem will be solved, if not all. I congratulate IAP Raigad, IAP Medical Legal Cell, and Raigad Medical Association for holding this seminar. Extremely sorry I have to leave for my Rotary Club meeting, but I wish you all the success, and I hope this is recorded and circulated, because I think today attendance is not very good. It's sorry to say, but I think this message should reach to everybody, and I think everybody is sailing in the same boat. Hemant,
Yeah.
congratulations, and hope to see you in such seminars again. So all the best. I have
Yes.
to leave for my meeting. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Dear all, there are two esteemed guests for this online webinar. We are having Dr. J.K. Gupta. He is chairperson of IAP Medical Legal Chapter 202325. He is a pediatrician from Kanpur. He is LLB LLM. I request him to share his thoughts on this occasion.
Thank you, Arun sir. First of all, I would like to congratulate IAP Raigad and Raigad Medical Association for taking the lead in celebration of National Medical Legal Protection Day. Actually, medical legal protection is not only a right to the doctor, but it is also affording benefits to the patient. Because once a doctor is medically protected, then he will not be compelled to do a defensive practice, and which will be ultimately hazardous to the patient. Our country is not in position to lose any more life like Dr. Ashna Sharma and many others to lose in absence of medical legal protection. Honorable Supreme Court has awarded us a perfect shield against wrongful criminal prosecution, but we are not aware of that one. And IPC and DNS also having a certain specific defense section. So actually there is a definite defense against criminal prosecution. So we need to be aware of that shield, number one. And number two, for consumer protection, we have to take just a handsome amount of professional indemnity insurance. So this much of coverage of consumer will be sufficient to all of us for a hassle-free practice and to be aware of medical legal protection awarded by Supreme Court and DNS sections for wrongful criminal prosecution. Thank you, and I imparted best wishes from IT Medical Legal Sector for celebrating Medical Legal Protection Day in Grand Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Friends, we are having Dr. Satish Sharma on this virtual platform. He is Secretary of IAP Medical Legal Chapter 202325. He is a practicing pediatrician from Rohtak and Delhi. I request him to share his thoughts, please, sir.
Good evening. And Dr. Vikas More, the president of IAP Raigad in absentia, I think right now is not here. Dr. Nishigant, the president of Raigad Medical Association. Dr. Ajay Kohli, secretary of Raigad IAP. And Dr. Rajendra is secretary of Medical Association of the Raigad. And Dr. Shekhar Davalkar, our chairman of IAP Medical Chapter, Dr. J.K. Gupta, Dr. Hemant Gangolia, who is behind this all scene, and he is currently our convener of Scientific Committee of IAP Medical Chapter and past president of the Maharashtra IAP. I congratulate all of you. To a very short time notice, you have organized this, and Dr. Hemant Gangolia is not famous in Maharashtra, all over India, for his medical legal activity is known. As rightly said, that lot of, and this time we have got the theme of medical legal protections, a doctor right, and there is a benefit of the patient in this. If we are doing our profession in right way and we are not under stress, so we can see the patient and this is benefit of the patient. And the slogan is, if we have legal knowledge, the purpose of this today's webinar to give knowledge to our pediatrician, and then we can have a safe practice. So this will have a shielding for the doctors, and doctor will become strong and very active. As all of you know that recently over last several years, lot of criminal cases are being against the doctors. Either the complainant or the investigating officer of the police, they have a lack of knowledge about this law. So they unnecessarily harass the doctor, they frivolous complaint, FIRs, and the doctor, although ultimately he may not prove to be guilty, but over this all period of many years, he is under stress. His reputation is tarnished and his future is become bleak. So this what happened in the Dr. J.K. Gupta had told about this Rachna Sharma case. She committed suicide. She was not knowing her right. So we should know our right. So Supreme Court has given 2-3 judgment in our favor. One is the Martin D'Souza versus Mohammad Afaq. Other is Jacob Matthew, State of Punjab. Then Kusum Sharma versus Batra Hospital. And they say that we own this frivolous complaint. The doctor should not be harassed, doctor should not be arrested, and the case should be referred to a medical board of specialists. If the prima facie is proved and this proved, then the case should be registered against the doctor. So I think today we have a learned speaker, Dr. Hemant Gangolia. He will throw light on how we can do about this to have a safe practice and avoid this litigation in private practice. Thank you very much, Dr. Hemant Gangolia.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Dear friends, this is just for your information. 17th Feb is Medical Legal Protection Day, and today we are having this CME related to it. The theme of today's webinar is Medical Legal Protection, Right of Doctors and Benefits to the Patients. Dr. Hemant Gangolia, sir, our favorite person from IAP Raigad, is the faculty speaker for this virtual CME. Before Dr. Gangolia, sir, starts his talk, it's my duty to introduce him to all of you. I'm sure it will be just a formality since all of us know him so well, since he being one of the greatest soldiers of IAP, IMA, and Raigad Medical Association. Dr. Hemant Gangolia, sir, is a pediatrician and medical legal consultant. He was past president of MAHA-IAP 2022. He is past president of RMA 2009 and 2010. He is past president of IAP Raigad also. He was scientific convener at IAP Medical Legal Chapter 2023-25. He is one of the editors of the book written on medical negligence in pediatrics. So I request sir to please go ahead with your talk, sir. Please.
Thank you.
And sincere, sir. Sorry, sir. And sincere request to all the participant delegates that if you are having any query, please put that query in the chat box. We can consider those queries at the end of sir's session. So please start your session, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajendra. Good evening and namaste to respected office bearers of IAP Raigad branch under the leadership of Dr. Vikas More and Dr. Ajay Kohli. Respected office bearers of AHA Raigad under the leadership of Dr. Sunita Ingre and Neha Singh. respected office bearers of Raigad Medical Association under the leadership of Dr. Nishikant Athavale and Dr. Rajendra Chandorkar, respected guest speakers, guest of honors, Dr. J.K. Gupta, sir, and Dr. Satish Sharma, sir, respectively chairperson and secretary of the IAP Medical Legal Chapter, respected office bearers of various medical Taluka Association of Raigad, as well as our patrons, Dr. Ramesh Patel and Dr. Shekhar Dabadkar, sirs. Also, we are really fortunate to have the great personalities on this dais. I look here, Dr. Avinash Bansal, Dr. Bela Verma, Dr. Rishi Bhatia, Dr. Sri Sir, Dr. Chandramohan, Dr. Kalpana Datta Madam, and so many. Namaste to each one and all. And please forgive me if I have not taken any names, but and as well I have missed anyone. To start with, let me thank organizers to give me this opportunity to share my thoughts. To start with what I will be doing, I will share few slides on basics, and then I will go for the what is Medical Legal Protection Day, 17th February, what we should do, how to make the awareness of it, and few slides of survey after that of Medical Legal Conclave, which we did the last year. Then what is new law in Bharat, and then few display matter which we should put up in our clinical establishments, and then we will have an interaction as well as the comments from all the leaders who are there on this Zoom dais. So that will the outline of the talk, and I will be speaking on this topic, and this is going YouTube live. So if nobody is able to attend this session totally, they may go to the link afterwards, which we'll be sharing. So the first line to remember, ignorance of the law is not the excuse, everybody knows, but rather I will say awareness of law is important. As our medicine is vast, law is too vast. No one can know each and every laws, but some basic ones we should know. And therefore, this is the important line when we should remember. Laws and law books, law syllabus doesn't cover all issues, as well as the law doesn't provide solution to all issues. So whenever some medical legal issues happens, many issues requires logical, justified, and appropriate ethical based reasoning as per land laws. And unless and until we have judgmental law, when such issues reach the Supreme Court for its verdict. So we have so many issues which are decided by the Supreme Court, which are known as the judgmental laws. And we should be aware of such same laws. Lot of gray areas are there. And we should accept medical legal issues are part and parcel of one practice. And one has to accept it. But at the same time, one need not get afraid of it. That fear should be removed. And how we can do that? Every patient in this era of consumerism, we should be very watchful. Probably every patient may be potent litigant, but at the same time, we should try to keep the relationship with the patient as a healthy relationship, but at the same time to be watchful. And one important message from this slide, if you anticipate any litigation or you have any complication while doing the treatment, please save those papers lifetime. That is the important message to be given. Then, what is the change that has been brought over the years? Many case laws has changed the practice. What we used to practice 25 years back, this is not possible in today's era of consumerism. And at present, faith has been replaced by contract, and one has to change with time. And mishaps are the part and parcel of a practice. We have to accept it and face it. But then we should learn how to anticipate and get mentally prepared for these all things. And so what are the important case laws which have changed the practice? Just this is the IMA versus VP Shanta. I will just sensitize about this. Everybody knows about it, but I will just sensitize. Medical profession was brought in ambit of consumer by this IMA versus VP Shanta case law. Permanent Katra versus Union case law states we don't have right to choose in the patient in emergency state. So we have to treat all an emergency cases in whatever the capacity limitation infrastructure wise, and to transfer it in appropriate way. We can choose the patient in non-emergency state. So emergency state, we have to see the patient. This is the Prabha Manchanda case law, which is related to all the consents. We will not go in the detail of the consent. Everybody know what is the implied consent, what is the written consent, what is the informed consent, what is the informed express consent, and what is a proxy consent. These all types of consent was evaluated in this Prabha Manchanda case law. Then there is a Hiranandani hospital case law, where dead body cannot be held against the pending bill. So we cannot hold the dead body. Now another case law is which highlights the importance of the lack of documentation. This is a case law where ROP, follow-up of ROP, retinopathy of prematurity was not mentioned, and therefore which was not documented. And this blind girl, the huge compensation of 1.8 crore was given in this case law of V. Krishna Kumar versus State of Tamil Nadu and others. And the last case, which is 1 crore Prashant Dhananka versus Nizam Institute of Hyderabad case, it is related to cross specialty practice. The message important is that whatever specialty we belong, whatever the pati we belong, we should practice according to that. And whatever the GR says, what we can practice, we should restrict to that. That is the important message from this case law. What is medical negligence? This is very complicated definition, but to make the simple thing, medical negligence is nothing, but it is an act of omission and act of commission. Again, by whom? A prudent, reasonable doctor may not be highest skill, having high skill, with an average skill as the standard protocols, whatever is existing while the treating the patient, if doesn't do the act which was necessary while treating the patient, is an act of omission. And does the act which shouldn't have been done while treating the patient is an act of commission. So all medical negligence revolves around the act of omission and the act of commission, and this one should understand while doing the practice. So this is a simple definition of medical negligence one should understand. Therefore, essentials of negligence involve the 4 Ds. What are the 4 Ds? Once you treat the patient, there is a duty towards the patient, and then as a deficiency, if any deficiency in duty, which results in the damages, which directly results in damages, which may be physical, mental, or financial, to whom? Patients or relative. So these are the 4 Ds, these are the essential of negligence, and it has to be proved by the complainant or the patient only complainant, and these 4 Ds are to be proved for the essentials of the negligence. So what are the probable scenarios in our practice? So we have some scenarios. We should be aware of such scenarios which are related to sudden death, and they are the trigger factor for mob violence and litigation. If we are mentally prepared, it will be very useful to us. So at clinic, if we use injection, as a general practitioner, in all associations we use injections. The commonest injection which is used is diclofenac sodium can give rise to anaphylaxis. We should learn to handle the anaphylaxis. Emergency patient coming in the gasping stage and dies. So that is one more thing. And sudden death in the hospitalized patient if we are having an indoor patients and the hospitalized patient. While treating the patient, the hospital setup. And then brought death to the clinic and hospital. And then the table deaths. If the any surgery is at the table. So these are the scenarios where one should learn how to handle this case, how to document the case, and then if we know the things properly, then probably the things are easier for us to practice. And there is some VIP syndrome known, and there is to be the concept of huge billing also is there. We should be a little bit considerate about that. We should be reasonably explaining the things about the billing, and that is the most important reason for litigation. So we should be able to explain what we are doing, what we are charging for that. And these 5 Ps, I always in my talks, these are the people may not be there in hurry, and they may be they are little bit tricky patients. So best way to see them as early as possible and give the treatment to them. Probably I think of politicians, the press people, professors, maybe teachers, police personals and prosecutors, I mean lawyers or advocates. And another one P I want to add is the peers. We should never criticize our peers. We should never make the wrong things about our peers. If by chance any mishap or any litigation we anticipate, what we should do. This is a very important message. Immediately, if we come across any mishap or while treating the patient, any complication occurs, and we think that probably this may give rise to any litigation, please immediately discuss the issue with whom? Your seniors, your senior people who knows about it. Research the literature. What research the literature? What are the literature who are for yourself and against your treatment, and preserve those papers and make the xerox and appropriate documentation. The chronology of the events, the sequence of the event is very important to write at time itself. Because why I said so? Because this we have to preserve and keep properly, because there's a period of limitation act which says 2 years. In consumers, after the incident, there are 2 years one can go to the consumer, as well as the criminal. Also, there is 3 years and one may go. So we should preserve these papers. And after some 1.5 years, if we receive the notice, we don't remember what the case was about it. We don't remember the chronology of the event. So it's best always, whenever you anticipate, please write these things. And therefore, all in with this all background, prevention is always better than cure. And I think so these are the 6 words we should always have in our mindset, because in these 2 days of consumerism, we should always have in these things in our mind, these 6 words while practicing. And these are the 6 words which are and to in this what era of consumerism you say, in the galaxy of laws existing, and the awareness of standard care among the public. So we should remember these 6 words. Whatever one practices, we should remember these 6 words. The first word is very important: anticipation. If you are doing OPD practice, if you are doing indoor practice, whatever the practice you are doing, should have the setup. We should learn to anticipate how to write in the OPD papers, indoor papers, as well as how to anticipate the things which can become worse. The next word is documentation. Whatever you say, it should be justified, informed documentation. Simple example I will give: whenever you write OPD paper, you should always write complaints of on examination, and then whatever that shows a thought process, and then the prescription should follow, because that prescription shows that a thought process, because there are DDs, so many differential diagnosis at that point of time, but the thought process which is shown by OPD paper shows the treatment of the, given by your prescription. And always on not to forget mention of the history of negative or positive history of any allergies are there. So these are documentation. And then the third word is important, is the communication. Whatever we communicate, verbal communication is there, but that verbal communication has to be documented, and that should be informed. So informed, documented communication, the key word to be said. We should learn these things, and we should learn to write the papers. The reason being busy is not the reason to practice now. We have to give the time to write the papers properly, and also counseling. Then the limitation is the fourth word. Always stick to our qualification, and whatever infrastructure we are practicing, please restrict to our qualification, practice accordingly. And if we feel that it is beyond our limit, please refer the patient. Do not do the heroic adventures. Best thing is to always refer the thing. And we do not have any infrastructure. Example, any birth asphyxia case is there. And if you anticipate a ventilator will be required, CPAP will be required, if you don't have primary level, always better to refer, not to keep the patient with us. And then the ethics. We should try to follow these 4 principles of ethics, which are very simple: respect, do good, do no harm, and equality. And I agree that it may not be 100% to achieve this, but at least 7 to 75% we can do that. And try to, as we get senior, as we get the experience, we learn these things more effectively rather than theoretical. Experience teaches a lot to us rather than the theoretical, whatever we learn from our books. And then introspection. This is the last keyword. I always feel when we should always introspect at the end of the day of our practice, by thinking that if this patient would have been in the shoes of our near and dear ones, what treatment I would have given, what advice I would have given, what medicine I would have written, and why, and whether I should refer or not. So these things becomes easier when we keep the patient in the shoes of near and dear ones. And please don't forget, patient has the right to have the second opinion, third opinion. We should not get wild on them. Let them take. We should restrict to whatever we can basic. With all this background in this, there are so many case laws, and these case laws are very dynamic. As before we started a program, someone said we should have the recent judgments. Yes, the judgment case laws are the dynamic. They changes with the time. Probably in the lower case, the judgment may be different, which may, when it reaches to the higher courts, the judgment totally gets reversed. But what I feel the basic things, we should learn the basics, and the basics are important. And so that these three important case laws, which I feel are important, and one should always have in their mobile phone, because whenever we come across such situation and we go to the police station, and when they are also not aware of this case laws, probably they have lot of work to do. There is a lot of priority list to there, and this our cases may be under their bottom in their priority list. So we should inform them. We should not argue, and we should not but in a humble way, in the gentle way, we should always inform them. So this one is the important case law, the Jacob Matthew case law. And what is the crux of this case law is these two things: complainant to clearly make out a case of negligence. So burden of proof is always on the complainant. He has to find his all 4Ds and has to be proved by the complainant. Only in few cases where the word is res ipsa loquitur, which means thing speaks itself. For example, any mob, any surgical instrument left in the while surgery, the thing speaks for itself. So there, the onus of proving burden of proof shifts from patients to the doctor. So doctor has to prove now. So the important thing is Jacob Matthew case say onus of proving negligence is on complainant. 1 minute. Then the other point in Jacob Matthew case law is practitioner must bring to his task a reasonable degree of skill and knowledge, and must exercise a reasonable degree of care, a standard of care. And so what it states, reasonable degree of skill and knowledge, and to stick to standard care and standard protocols. What do I mean by standard care and standard protocol? The standard textbooks which recommend. For a case, for a disease, there may be one or two options, but whatever is chosen, and that depends on the reasonably, then it is not a negligence. So that is the Jacob Matthew case law. And this case law is Suresh Gupta versus government. This what it states: careless act is criminal only if gross inaction or gross incompetence is there. Death due to error of judgment or accident should not be taken as criminal liability. So this is one more important case law one should remember. And the third one, which is very important, which I feel, and we are having webinar on this, is the Martin D'Souza versus Muhammad Ishfaq case law. This case law, the judgment was given on 17th February 2009, and this Supreme Court of India judgment was there, and these are the basic things which are there. And probably we, as a doctors and as a this, we are always in hurry. We do not read the judgment. We do not read the points in detail. This is a wonderful case law. One should really, it is some judgment I may share. It is a 24 or 26 pages, 29 pages judgment. One should read this. The crux of this judgment is not to arrest doctors, not to harass doctors, referral to committee of doctors. This I will read for you, because we should read, because it's a very important statement. We therefore direct that whenever a complaint is received against a doctor or hospital by the consumer forum, maybe district, state or national, or by the criminal code, then before issuing notice to the doctor or hospital against whom the complaint was made, the consumer forum or criminal court should first refer the matter to a competent doctors or committee of doctors specialized in the field of relating to the which the medical negligence is attributed, and only after that doctor or committee reports, then there's a prima facie of medical negligence should notice be then issued to the concerned doctor and hospital. This is necessary to avoid harassment to doctors who may not be ultimately found to be negligent. We further warn the police official not to arrest or harass doctors unless the facts clearly come within the parameters laid down in the Jacob Matthew case law. Otherwise, the policemen will themselves have to face the legal action. So these are very important lines. One should read word by word. And this is very important to after take. Just explaining this thing will not work. So this is the complete judgment, and this point number 117, which is written in the judgment, whatever I read, this is mentioned in this paragraph. And this is the link to go for this judgment, and one should always read this. So 117 point in the judgment, whatever I have read is mentioned in this case. One should have this copy in our mobile. So crux is Martin D'Souza case, not to arrest doctors, not to harass doctors, and refer to committee of doctors. And we should always remember this. And And we should always remember, keep this case laws in our mobile, because and whenever we go to police station or informed or called, we should be able to explain them properly. And therefore, this judgment which was given on 17th February 2009, and last year in 2024, lots of efforts, dedicated efforts, extraordinary efforts taken by our chairperson of IAP Medical Legal Chapter, Dr. Jyoti Kumar Gupta, as well as Secretary Dr. Satish Sharma sir, who was then Vice President of the CIP North Zone, took the lot of efforts to make this day in our Central Indian Academy of Pediatrics, 17th February, to be celebrated as Medical Legal Protection Day for doctors. And this Medical Legal Protection Day of Doctors, and again we made this flyer last year, which we circulated. So all these efforts taken by Medical Legal Chapter of IAP. But what I feel, this should not restrict to our IAP. It should percolate to each and every medical fraternity, which may be IMA, which may be another district association as our Raigad Medical Association, or everybody should take the advantage of this. And this year, under the leadership of Dr. Vasant Khalatkar sir, who is the president of Central IAP, and Dr. Yogesh Parikh, who is the secretary of the Central Indian Academy of Pediatrics, has issued this letter, by email to almost 45,000 of IAP members across the country. And what this letter say, and we will just go through this letter and what we can do on this day and why we should do, that is important. So it is addressed to all the president secretaries of IAP, state, district, local branches, but it should percolate to all the medical fraternity. And 17th February 2025 is observed as IAP Medical Protection Day for doctors. This is the day when landmark judgment was given. I have already stated by Supreme Court, reference to medical board mandated in all criminal negligence cases and restraint from arresting doctors in routine way was reaffirmed. Theme for this year, medical legal protection, doctors' right and patient benefits. Slogan is a legal knowledge, safe practice, shielding doctors strong and active. So with this theme and slogan, and they suggested the activities what we can do to create awareness with following activities. Organize press conference for sensitizing public and the media about the Supreme Court directives and Medical Protection Act. Then give representation to top officials like DGP, IG, and DIG, releasing fresh periodic departmental circular for compliance of the Supreme Court directives and implementation of Medical Protection Act in true sense. Arrange workshop CME for pediatrician, all the medical fraternity regarding medical legal awareness. Activity with doctors, schools for awareness of POXO Act 2. So these are the activities which are suggested by Central Indian Academy of Pediatrics. At IAP Raigad, if the office bearers of our IAP Medical Legal Chapter are there, at IAP Raigad, we have planned 4 activities. Submission of memorandum to SP Alibag by IAP Raigad and Raigad Medical Association in joint way lead taken by Dr. Nishikant Athavale and Dr. Rajendra Chandorkar and Dr. Vinayak Patil to submit this memorandum to SP of the Alibag. That is one activity. The second activity, today what we are doing, organizing this webinar along with Raigad Medical Association to sensitize all office bearers of Taluka Medical Association. There are almost 26 to 27 associations in our Raigad district to submit a memorandum to all police stations of the concerned Taluka by the Taluka Medical Association on probably Monday, 17th Feb. Therefore, we have kept this webinar on 14. So making and sensitizing those office bearers of the Taluka Medical Association to those, they will get that time to prepare the memorandum and submit on the 17th. We will definitely. Yes. Hello?
Sure.
Yes?
Sir. Yes, sir.
आवाज आ रही है? So we will format, we are having the templates. I will be forwarding, or we are forwarding to templates to Rajendra Chandorkar as well as IAP Raigad, and we will be making this. This is activity 2. Activity 3, what we are doing, are going to press release of this on this day in form of an article. What the press release we to make all the directives awareness in our own local newspapers of the Marathi. And Dr. Davarkar sir and Dr. Rajendra Chandorkar are taking the pains to translate those documents in form of article, and that article will come on 17th February in all across the Raigad district, as well as we will be requesting the office bearers of any Taluka association who are present in the webinar, please translate you will get the ready-made Marathi translated from Dr. Rajendra, and that will be, please submit, please make your that article in our local newspaper. And the fourth activity, Dr. Vikas More, President of IAP Raigad, and Dr. Nishikant Athawale, the President of Raigad Medical Association, we are thinking of displaying the banners of Doctor Protection Act, as well as the new laws which has come related to the violence, the BNS sections, to be displayed in almost all clinical establishments, maybe clinics, hospitals, nursing homes across the Raigad district. We do not want this activity to be restricted to IAP. IIM Maharashtra, under the leadership of Dr. Santosh Kadam, who is also himself a pediatrician, is taking a lot of pain, and IIM Maharashtra is also celebrating this 17th February as a medical legal protection under the leadership of the Dr. Vipin Checker, who is the chairperson of the IIM Medical Legal Cell, and his team doing wonderful work, and they will be also celebrating 17th February. So we are trying to percolate why we should do and why we should do all this. We will just come in a minute, because the things which I will explain after this. If we submit, we should make the awareness. Rather celebrating the day, it is not celebration, but we are making the people, the press people, the police official aware of these things. And therefore, these activities we are doing. So this is the memorandum which has been drafted, and this drafting was done by Dr. Mahesh Baldava sir and Dr. J.K. Gupta sir in the last year, and this draft was submitted to the CIP as well as supported by Dr. Satish Sharma sir. All these three people have drafted these three things. One is the memorandum which has to be submitted in the police official. The another one is the press release in Hindi, and another one is the press release in English. And for betterment of this, what we do when we receive this in WhatsApp, we just go through, read one or two lines and just skip all the things. We should read word by word and to submit at a reasonable, at a proper authorities. So we should make the people. So this is the memorandum in English, and I will just read for the persons who are the association and also the attending people. We should write to the police authority name, address, subject, request for implementation of Supreme Court Directives and Medical Protection Act, and dear sir, madam, I am writing as advocate for the rights and welfare of medical profession. In our we should write our location. Rajendra, आपला location लिहायचं याच्यामध्ये on behalf of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, as well we should mention Raigad Medical Association or any association that are involved under the medical legal chapter of IAP. You can edit to as per requirements, but we should mention this is initiated by medical legal chapter of IAP. Our objective is to ensure that medical practitioners can fulfill their responsibilities without unwarranted legal challenges, thus maintaining effective healthcare service delivery. Recent years have seen an unsettling rise in criminal prosecution against doctors, both surgeons and physicians, initiated through private complaints or police action following an FIR. This trend is concerning, particularly since those filing complaints, including investigating officers, may lack the necessary medical expertise to accurately assess whether the actions of medical professionals constitute criminal negligence. Such legal proceedings not only stress those professional but also risk their reputation and career regardless of the case outcome, already expressed by our patrons in their opening remarks. The Honorable Supreme Court of India has addressed to this issue and issued directives and guidelines to safeguard medical professionals from frivolous litigation. We urge the adoption and implementation of this guideline as laid down in the landmark judgment Jacob Matthew case law, Martin D'Souza case law, Kusum Sarma versus Batra Hospital. So all these three case law we should have. To add one Suresh Gupta case law also, one should have in their mobile. For these directives aim to protect medical professionals from unwarranted legal challenges, ensuring that only cases of gross negligence, warranty criminal proceedings are pursued. The other part of this is that, so what are the key directives from this judgment? All three judgments what are given, these are the key directives. Private complaints may not be entertained without prima facie evidence. Before proceeding, investigating officer must obtain an independent opinion, expert opinion from the committee of the doctors. Doctor accused of negligence should not be routinely arrested, but police officers should refrain from harassing them. Complaint against doctor's hospital should be referred to a competent author or committee. Committee in Raigad district is a civil surgeon, and in the metropolitan cities, they are the nominated hospital. Such in Mumbai, it is a JJ hospital, specializing in relevant field before issuing notices. It is a duty of civil society to ensure that medical professionals are not unnecessarily harassed or intimidated. Malicious proceedings aimed at pressurizing medical or hospitals for undue compensation should be discarded. So these all things is mentioned there, and most important, this last 3 or 4 line is very important. We respectfully request all things. We should be gentle in talking to the police thing, and we should have a courtesy meeting with the police. We respectfully request the issuance of a fresh periodic departmental circular for the implementation of Supreme Court directives, as it is the duty of the police department under Article 141 of the Indian Constitution. Therefore, effective implementation of Medical Protection Act is imperative for the protection of doctors. And thank you for considering this vital issue. We look forward to the possibility of collaborating with you to find a solution that respects both the legal framework and the invaluable contribution of medical profession to society. More often, I always talk, I always say in my talks, always make a courtesy visit to police station. We always go whenever there is an issue. We should make a courtesy, maybe the change of the office bearer association, Taluka association, we should try to make the rapport with the police station. And really, believe me, it really helps. We have so many incidents in Raigad where the police helped us. And lastly, you should write yours sincerely, the president, secretary of the association, any important members of this association, we should write. So this is the memorandum which has to be submitted to the police officials. Then, so last year in 2024, we did this, and Dr. Rajendra Chandorkar and Dr. Vinayak Patil, along with RMA members, they have submitted this to the Superintendent of Police. This was last year. In 2025, we are going to repeat that, because we have to consistently remind them. This is not the thing which is done once and forget for everything. We should always try to, this is always again a reminder to set all the things, and to, because the SP, the police, they have always that transferred after certain period of time, maybe 2 years or 3 years. So we have to always update and have the relations with the transfer of police official. So this is what we did, and this was in the year 2024. So this is the type on the letterhead. We should print whatever the template we will be giving to you, and you just print that and just sign these all things and submit to the SP. So this is one format. The another is the press release. This is in Hindi. This I will not read. I will read English one. So what we can do. This I have forwarded both English and Hindi to Dr. Rajendra Chandorkar and Dr. Shekhar Dabadkar sir to translate in Marathi. And when Dr. Dabadkar sir went through this press release, he was saying how to write. This will not be the press release, but then he is writing in form an article. So we should write in a form of article which will make the people aware of that, because such a small news will not be accepted in the local newspaper. In form of article with our relations with the press people, we should always emphasize and make this is a news article paper. And I'm confident about in Raigad Medical District, this will be coming in all local newspaper, because many of the doctors have very good relations with the press people. So what is the press do? The medical profession is facing increasing legal challenges, with cases against doctors and hospitals on the rise. Criminal cases are being filed against doctors, besides complaint to the consumer forums, causing distress in the medical community. During treatment, if the patient condition deteriorates or results in death, criminal cases are filed against doctors, and the arrests are made to prevent this. To prevent this, and arrests are made. Therefore, to prevent this, Supreme Court has issued clear guidelines in cases already I have stated, Jacob Matthew, Martin D'Souza, and the Kusum Sharma case law. Criminal cases against doctors should only be filed in case of gross medical negligence. Criminal cases should be initiated by police only after preliminary investigation. In cases of criminal medical, inquiry should be medical board chaired by the chief CMO is mandatory. In district is the civil surgeon or the chief medical officer, and in metropolitans it is one of the nominated hospital, where in Mumbai it is a JJ. Unnecessary arrest of doctors should be avoided. Written opinions of other doctors in the same field are necessary before proceeding with investigation. In case of death during treatment, charges of medical negligence, not culpable homicide, should be filed. And the Supreme Court has warned against the unjustified arrest of doctors in cases like Martin D'Souza, Failure to adhere to the Supreme Court guidance has led to tragic incidents, as already stated by Dr. J.K. sir and Dr. Satish Sharma sir, like the suicide of the Dr. Archana Sharma, a gynecologist from Rajasthan. She didn't know her rights and falsely charged with culpable homicide last year. Even doctor did not know her rights. That criminal case against doctor where death occurs during course never leads to death penalty. Under Article 141 of the Indian Constitution, compliance with the Supreme Court decision is mandatory for all lower courts, government departments, and the police. Failure to comply falls under the contempt of the court. This line is very important. Police higher ups should issue departmental circulars periodically to ensure compliance with Supreme Court guidelines. Media coverage should aim to bridging the growing mistrust between patient doctors. Sensationalism should be avoided. Action of quacks should not be attributed to qualified medical professionals. Positive stories about doctors' good work and social contribution should also be highlighted. So one more message that always if you do any good work, please highlight in the local newspaper. Is a very important thing to be highlighted. And I remember one of the Tamil Nadu government has released this circular for all the police stations concerned with the state of Tamil Nadu, and probably we'll see in the Maharashtra state also. And so with this two things, press release and the submission of the memorandum, probably will make the awareness in the police, also awareness in the people, and awareness amongst doctors, and therefore we will be little bit come on a comfortable zone. So this press release I already read for you, and this template and draft also I will be sending to Dr. Rajendra as well as the concerned office bearers of the Taluka Medical Association of the Raigad, and which we can draft accordingly and their letterhead and submit to the things. So this medical legal chapter of IAP has done a milestone in making the 17th February Medical Legal Protection Day for doctors. But I say, always we have to set a reminder. So each and every year on 17th February, we should try to make this awareness day for all the doctors as well as the public as well as the police officials. This is the key message for this celebration of the Medical Legal Protection Day for doctors. With this, I want to make some, we have made some survey regarding fear and violence. As Dr. Dabharkar sir said, this was the medical legal conclave, which was the topic was the challenges to medical profession and the doctor-patient relationship and the responsibility of society. This survey was done and the results were in form of conclave was discussed in the EMLOCON 2023, which was held at Lucknow on 17 September 2023. And again, the key person for this making all the Google forms and all this survey was Dr. J.K. Gupta sir, chairperson of the medical chapter, as well as assisted by Dr. Satish Sharma sir. And for this medical legal conclave, we asked this was a survey which was done. There were 20 questions were asked. I'm not going to discuss 20 questions, but 3 important questions which are very important. And this is and earlier the survey was done by IMA also. IMA said 80% of doctors in India are stressed out in the profession, as stated by Dr. Shekhar Dabharkar sir. And other figures are there. I will not go in the details, but this 80% is sufficient to say about the stress in our profession. And therefore, these questions, do you feel many times the police acting contrary to Supreme Court directives given in judgment for the safeguard of doctors? Almost 88% said yes. So police are not acting contrary to the Supreme Court directives. The next question was, do you feel that the police is reluctant in applying for Medical Protection Act in case of violence against doctors and hospitals? Almost 97% say yes. So, but we are not, we ourselves are not aware, and police are also not aware. So these two questions were very important. And then Supreme Court already has set 11-point norm on medical negligence. I will not go in the detail, but negligence is a breach of duty. Negligence must be culpable or gross, not a real, and it should be written the degree of skill and knowledge. Doctor would not be liable only when his conduct is below the standard of the reasonable care. Difference of opinion cannot be cited as negligence. Just because a professor looking at the gravity, not yielding the desired result that is there, chooses one course of action in preference to other one available, he will not be liable if the action chosen by him was acceptable to the medical profession. And last, not to harass or humiliate medical profession, doctors are entitled to get protection. These 11-point norm are there by Supreme Court, but as doctors, we are not aware, as well the police officers are not aware. So time and now again, we have to emphasize and make these things aware with the help of this day. And this question 11, have you faced violence in the form of threat, physical abuse, mischief at a workplace? And almost 66% responded as yes. So this is the another question was there. Do you agree fear of violence and criminal prosecution has reduced our willingness to take up serious cases. As Dr. Ramesh Patel has said, now only we are not taking the critical cases, and almost 92% has said yes. So there's a fear of violence and criminal prosecution. So these survey questions, what does say? These are the fear in the mind. And do you fear criminal consumer prosecution while doing medical practice? Almost 37%, 31% said yeah, always, and most of this, almost 50%, 60% said they have this fear of criminal consumer prosecution while doing medical practice. And this already came in the newspaper. I will not go in these details, but this is an interesting statement which Miss mentioned here. अब समय आ गया है इतने सारे कानूनों को समाप्त करके चिकित्सा व्यवसाय के लिए एक संपूर्ण चिकित्सा व्यवसाय अधिनियम बनाया जाए और इसके सबको डील करने के लिए खाली मेडिकल फोरम होना चाहिए, कोई होना चाहिए. तो दिस इज द मेडिकल काउंसिल को होना चाहिए. तो दिस इज द स्टेटमेंट इंपॉर्टेंट, बट वी वॉट एवर लॉज वी आर देयर वी हैव टू फॉलो दैट. नाउ कमिंग टू व्हाट इज द न्यू लॉ इन भारत, इंडिया, वी शुड नो, ईच एंड एवरीवन शुड नो व्हाट इज द न्यू लॉ इन भारत. So भारतीय न्याय संहिता 2023 has replaced Indian Penal Code 1860. And to get replacement for old section of IPC to newly implemented section, click the link, type the section, and tap the link button. For example, I will just show you if it works, if my net is well and good. So I will just show for an example if it is showing that. So here I enter IP section, which was always applied the medical negligence, is a 304 and capital A. And if I click that, the whatever this Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023 section mentioned 106. So 106 is the applied. So this is the way what we go, and this I will stop. 1 minute. So I have to restart this. So this is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and the Bharatiya Saksham Adhiniyam 2023 has replaced Indian Evidence Act 1872. Similarly, I will not show the example, but this is Indian Evidence Act 1872 has replaced by the Bharatiya Saksham Adhiniyam 2023. And don't worry, I will share this PDF of my talk to each and every people, and you can just go through afterwards in a leisure time. The Code of Criminal Procedure 1882 has been replaced by Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita 2023. And again, there's a link, and you just get these. All links are the courtesy by the Advocate Poonam Khatri at Delhi Bar Association 30,000 code. So these all links are through by this advocate. So we should be able to know this. So Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023 has replaced the Indian Penal Code. To get replacement, this is the link. I will share this a link for all section of BNS 2023. This is the, if we click this link and we get all the findings on the section. And just to show that if it works, I will just show. Otherwise, we will just. Are you able to see? Are you able to see?
No, sir.
These sections, are you able to see?
No,
sir.
No, not it.
What you are able to see?
Your
There is your
introductory
slide, sir.
Huh?
There is your slide only.
Okay. So just I will go back. So when you click this now, so you get these sections, and this section explains all the things. It is a very easy. I will just share this, and probably I will circle this tomorrow.
Yes,
And
now it's there, sir.
And then depending on this, these are the all sections. Just we'll go through this, not in detail, but this we have received this message in our WhatsApp, and we used to say this. These are the IPC BNS acts for hospitals are not specific, but these are not specific acts for hospital. These are the IP section and BNS sections applicable to all citizens of India and public servants which are extrapolated to hospitals. You are able to see the slide now?
Yes, sir.
So this we have seen in the WhatsApp, but now in view of VNS, really I have gone through all this research because many things have been, these are the misguiding, because some years of imprisonment and these are misguiding, and these are saying is non-bailable. It's not like that. I will just read for you. So 1 minute. So an act of vandalism, violence, or indecent behaviors damage to hospital is a serious legal violence under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and various state Medicare service person and Medicare service institution prevents from violence and damage or loss to property. Such action as per the gravity of crime, as per the subsection, are cognizable or non-cognizable, non-bailable. And most of them are triable at magistrate first class, any magistrate in serious ones by serious or the sessions court. Just punishments are variable as per the gravity and subsections of the offense. We always have the myths that these are the non-bailable, the person will remain lifelong in the prison. It's not like that. So it all depends on the gravity of the offense, gravity of the situation, gravity of the crime. So just going through this, I will just go through this, rush through this slide. Use of abusive language, misbehavior of doctors. In BNS, we can take the help of the section 352. And I will not go in the detail of the punishment cognizable. You just go through this. Use of others. This is the BNS section 352. Causing injury, hurt to doctor, medical staff. So these are all 115, 116, 117, 118, voluntary causing hurt, definition of grievous hurt, voluntary causing grievous hurt, warning causing grievous hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapon. In interesting stories there, one of the case where the mishap happened and we went to police station, police himself suggested to us, you write unknown weapon. Because if we write unknown weapon, probably unless and until the weapon is found, the culprits will be behind the bar. So he only suggested, so we mentioned that way. So this is threat to doctor, medical staff is a 351 criminal intimidation if threat to be caused death or grievous. This is various type of imprisonment depending on the gravity of the offense. There are so many subsections in that 117 and this is cognizable, non-bailable and triable by which magistrate, any magistrate or session court or judicial magistrate first class. This is the things, these are the all IP section, IP Indian Penal Code, which has replaced by BNS. And then attack on government doctor. This is for public servant. Attack on government doctor, government medical staff. 121 and 224 is the BNS section, voluntary causing hurt to deter public servant from his duty, threat of injury to public. So government doctors are working in the government hospital. So these sections can be used for when we do FIR. Forcefully stopping government doctor from doing his duty. This BNS section 132 and which was 353 in IPC, assault or criminal force to deter a public servant for discharge of his duty. And then damage to hospital property equipment. This is come under misuse. There are so many sections and subsection under 324 and 326, and these all come against the damages, the extent of the damages caused, and depending on there is a term up to 5 years imprisonment and fine, and everything is there. And then wrong defamatory news posting against a doctor, hospital, newspaper. So we have 356 under BNS. So defamation and the respective punishment and respective cognizance, non-cognizable, bailable and non-bailable offense. Mob attack, forceful entry. This we should always remember. 189, 190 is the unlawful assembly. Being member of an unlawful assembly, this comes under BNS, which was 143 and 149 previously. And then these are the trespass, the doctors practicing where the consulting room is down and the residence up. So this is a criminal trespass, house trespass, and this as accordingly all this has been defined, and these are respective punishment and the respective things are there. An attack on harassment to lady doctor. So this is section 74 in BNS, assault or use of criminal force to woman with intent to outrage or modesty, and this is the punishment which is there, and it is a so these are the sections we should remember, and it is easier to find on the whatever the links I have shown. This slide summarize all whatever I said, and we don't have time to discuss in detail, but we should be aware of these important things and according to the important sections which are there. Why I said so? Because I will just come in a minute or two on this, and this is one more important where under Indian Penal Code 304A was always applied whenever there was the death of any patient. So whoever causes the death of any person by doing any rash or negligent act not amounting to culpable homicide. So and punishment was the discretion for term which may extend to 2 years or with fine or with both. Please mark this word of or. This was the Indian Penal Code 304A. So most of the times, doctors, when these criminal cases were there, it was the judgment at the discretion of the judge. Almost there were just no imprisonment, but with fine the cases used to be resolved, and it was bailable, cognizable, non-compoundable. But now the recent Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 1061 section, what it states, whoever causes death of any person by doing any rash, and same thing is written extend to fire, but they have added one more line. And if such act is done by registered medical practitioner while performing medical procedure, he shall be punished with imprisonment of either discretion or term between 2 years and shall also be liable to fine. The word or has been replaced by and. So there's no chance that if any there's convicted, the imprisonment is 100% for 2 years, which may extend 2 years, not 2 years, but whatever terms from 6 months to 2 years is the term, and shall also be fined. So the important highlight of Indian Penal Code and Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, for the first time, medical negligence is defined in BNS. Whereas in IPC, it was good or it was better that the medical negligence was not defined, but this section was replied in the term of definition. So it is actually, I feel it's a BNS more worse than IPC, and it's a really defined registered practitioner. And then they have defined a registered medical practitioner also. And so is any medical qualification required under National Medical College 2019, one should be aware. And this has another part, 162 part, which is not implemented. We will forget that. So these are this important section we should remember. 106 replacing 304A. And in the case of medical negligence, in 106.2, we will not go into this 106.2. We will forget that, because at present 106.1 section is implemented. And then we come to the Doctor Protection Act. And this is the Doctor Protection Act which was displayed in our in the Karjat Taluka, and still I have in our hospital. So this is Marathi, which says आरोग्य सेवा संरक्षण कायदा 2010, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये सर्व कलम लिहिलेले आहे, 4 कलम लिहिले आहेत, आणि 4 कलम मध्ये प्रामाणिक आहे. I will just go through and show this. This is English. Section 3 states, act causing damage, loss, violence to medical establishments prohibited. Punishment imprisonment is 2 years and fine up to 50,000. Section 5 says offense is cognizable, non-bailable, tried by first-class judicial magistrate, compensation of twice the amount of damage. So these 5 sections are important. And why I said so all these sections, and because whenever we do FIR, the FIR is done through police station through online, and whenever the FIR is lodged, it is always lodged under the acts or under the sections. And this is one of the incidents what we did in Karjat Taluka, where the FIR was lodged under the Maharashtra Act. So this act is very important. And most of the time, I remember this incident when police said, this act is not existing. This act. So I just shared from my mobile to that police official, and then this was mentioned. So this is important. We should know and we should inform them. So this is regarding. So this is highlighted. And same thing when the final, after the inquiry, when the charge sheet is submitted, again the charge sheet, they mention the act and the section. So this is very important that these sections or this adhiniyam or whatever is called should come. And then of this we should know. So I have made this template. Dr. Rajendra, Dr. Vikas, I will be circulating this to you. This is, see, I have left this blank space down. I have written my name. You can remove my name. You can just put the name of the association. You can put the bearer's name, and just I will share the CDR file also, which can be edited by you. Or if you say, I will make the editing and you can give. This should be displayed in all our clinical establishment. This is an important thing which displays the Doctor Protection Act. And similarly, the whatever I have shown in this that should be also displayed in the BNS section. That format I will be sharing with you, and so you can. The important slide from my talk on mob violence, each and every practicing doctor should be a member of local association. Very important, and we should always form local strong groups. Rush team concept should be there. And we should have rapport with the local police station. We should have a courtesy meeting. And the important line is that every association or a group of doctors should have a good criminal lawyer. But here I want to say, as a doctors, we often share our professional secrets, but lawyer never shares their secrets. So it's very important to identify a good criminal lawyer who will really loyal to you and reveal all the things to you. And of course, many times a criminal lawyer doesn't know, so we should know the excellent medical legal expert backup should be there. At Raigad, Dr. Rajendra, I am there always. So we should have always this, and I get sometimes many calls. So we should have backup, which criminal lawyers sometimes don't know. We have to give them the idea behind. So each and every medical person who is practiced should be member of local association. Rather asking what association does for us, we should be contributing to the association, and we should make the part of the association and should help on these things, because we are sailing in the same boat, and each one is some other time will come in problem. So this is the importance that we should know, and therefore I am coming towards my end of this talk. So again, I am highlighting, we request all the branches of our Raigad Medical Association. They are not pediatric branches, but still IAP Raigad Medical Association, all taluka medical. We have 15 talukas in Raigad district. All 15 talukas having the so many medical association. They should make the use of this day to submit the memorandum, as well as make the press article to aware of these things in the public as a police official. So again, I have highlighted this slide, and but still one of the global trust index studies there. अभी भी दुनिया में सबसे भरोसेमंद पेशेंट डॉक्टरी का ही है. In 2022, doctor 58%, followed by mechanic or teacher. And just I will not comment on that because it is online. So just follow my cursor. Who are the last ones? I will not say, but so this is the last one which I am highlighting by my cursor. So still in India, still the doctors are respected, and I feel the doctor is doing medicine is a noble profession. Yes, medicine is not for making money, but I always feel if we have a successful practice, money follows. It doesn't like. So this is the side. And lastly, Swami Vivekananda last said so many years back, no gadget has been developed which can predict 100% correct medical prognosis and can assure 100% medical recovery. But with experience, skills, logic, a doctor can try to find a means of treatment to avoid mishap, but with limitation, each and every time it may not work or will be right. Therefore, the doctor should not be treated as God, as well at the same time not to treat doctor as an accused. So with this, I end my talk here, and thank you very much. I will just...
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. I am sure, sir, your presentation was so good. It was so informative. And I would like to say that it was an authentic talk delivered by you. It was masterly talk delivered by you, sir. And there are few good points I would like to quote over here, sir. In fact, I saw your first slide, and in that slide, you had mentioned 6 words application. I like those 6 words. One can give thought to process the solution of any issue or problem by applying 6-word approach and weigh the pros and cons accordingly. So you mentioned first anticipation in OPD as well as indoor wise. Second, you mentioned documentation of the record. Then you mentioned communication with the relatives, with the colleagues, with your senior people or senior doctors. Then you mentioned about limitations, about qualifications. Then you mentioned about 4 principles of ethics: respect, do good, do no harm, and equality. And lastly, introspection by thought of near and dear ones in the shoes of the patient. And there were very good points. In fact, everyone should remember all these points. And many points I noted during your presentation, like medical negligence and record keeping and documentation. Every issue was so masterly covered. I feel so sorry that many Raigad Medical Association members are not there. In fact, our IAP colleagues are also not there. But I'm sure, sir, in future, a physical CME would be arranged on behalf of Raigad Medical Association, and I take that responsibility for the same. Dear all, if
Dr.
you got...
Dr.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Rajendra.
Dr.
Sir.
Dr.
Rajendra,
Vikas More joined,
if we have any
our
question,
president Raigad,
yes,
IAP Raigad.
yes, Dr. Dabadkar sir, Dr. Rajendra, we have
Yes, sir.
senior person, Dr. Satish Sharma, Dr.
Sir.
Srinivasan sir,
Sir.
Dr. Chandra Mohan sir, Dr.
Sir.
Bela Verma, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Akash Bansal, Rishi Bhatia, Raja
Yes,
Kumar
sir.
Marul, and then we
Sir.
will have word with Vikas More also. So
Sir.
let please open the house for their comments or any they want to add or anything they want to add or anything they want to correct me. It will be welcome. So just invite one by one, Dr. Rajendra.
Sure, sir. Sir, I would like to ask Dr. Satish Sharma, sir, to please put your comments, sir. Say
Yeah,
few words. Yes.
we cover all these topics in one-day conference. He has covered 4 or 5 topic one-day conference in a very comprehensive and concise and made every. So congratulate Dr. Hemant Gangolia for your wonderful talk, and you summarize everything, every bit, and this is essential as we are celebrating Medical Protection Day. So you covered everything, nothing is left.
Yes.
That
Thank you.
so this is excellent talk.
Yes, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
Dr. Vikas More is our president of IAP Raigad. He was unable to join the CME because his wife was not well. So I request Dr. Vikas More to please give your input.
Sorry for late joining due to some domestic emergency, but we are so proud to have. Initially, first of all, I am very much obliged that Dr. Satish Sharma sir, Dr. Srinivasan sir, Dr. Chandra Mohan sir, Dr. Bela Verma madam, Dr. Dabadkar sir have joined, and Dr. Rajkumar sir, they are joined to encourage us. We are a small branch from a periphery of Maharashtra near Mumbai, and we are trying to do as much as good as we can. We are blessed by the seniors like Dr. Dabadkar sir and Dr. Gangulia sir, and my own president, Dr. Chandurkar sir, who was the very important in organizing this CME. This CME has been joined by many general practitioners. So this recording will be there in our YouTube archive, so the people can refer to this content for their routine practice. For IAP Raigad, in a medical legal aspect, Dr. Gangulia sir is our last major. Whenever something happens in our district, the first call goes to Gangulia sir, and he has helped so many doctors in their dire need. So medical legal chapter for many people may feel that it is a dry chapter, but those who have faced the music, they understand the value of this chapter. So I'm very fortunate that on these days so many people joined, and especially all the uh, delegates who have joined this CME. I hope this session will help in your routine practice. IP Raigad, I am very much proud to have a team like Dr. Ajay Kohli, Dr. Parvez Sheikh, and other EB members who constantly helping me. And we have so many programs for medical legal day in coming few days. We are going to publish one article in our local newspaper and many more activities. So kindly places like only coming future that we will be able to do this work more and more in coming few days. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vikas. I would like to request Dr. Rajkumar, sir, to please share your input on this occasion.
Yes, sir. As usual, we will will be hearing sir's talks regularly. As usual, it is an excellent talk today, and on the occasion of Doctors Protection Day, and throughout India, we are having different activities on behalf of IAP. This medical legal chapter in Karnataka, we are having on 23rd at Shivamogga one such a physical this medical legal CME. Thank you, sir. It was a very excellent talk. Quite a lot of information we got.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Dr. Srinivasan, sir, to please share your thoughts, sir.
Thank you. I was mesmerized by the amount of information given in a very eloquent way that everybody can understand. And it's really not even a single minute was boring. It was absolute important topic, very well covered. And of course, I appreciate all of you for arranging this. Thank you so much. Very essential And many people don't know, and I'm sure it's going to reach so many places. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Dr.
Dr.
Chandra Mohan sir
Rajendra,
to please.
Dr. Rajendra, thank you so much, sir. He's a teacher of
Yes.
teachers.
No, not at
Yes.
all. I am learner of learners.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Dr. Chandra Mohan sir to please share your input, sir.
So I remember long back there I read a tagline of Economic Times: "Knowledge is power." So today I realize that medical legal knowledge is the real power for us. Our subject knowledge is giving us confidence in practice, but we feel intimidated with the law. So that today sir has given us, empowered us. So now we have the confidence to deal with the police, to deal with the adverse situations, and not to lose our calm. So that's very important. That's now I can say medical legal knowledge is power to pediatricians or medical professionals. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, Dr.
Sir, Rishi
J.K. Gupta,
Bhatia.
sir.
Dr. Rajendra, Dr. Rishi
Dr. Bhatia.
Bhatia.
Dr.
Dr.
Bhatia,
Rishi
sir.
Bhatia is there. Dr. Bela Verma is there.
Yes. Dr. Bela Verma, madam, Dr. Rishi Bhatia, sir. Are you there on this platform, sir? Madam?
I'm very much there.
Yes, madam.
I
Please,
never miss a medical legal talk.
please,
And
ma'am.
it's always a pleasure to hear sir who's so organized in his talk. He gives us a lot of information, and I'm actually learning from all my seniors. And the entire IAP medical legal chapter office bearers and members have been trying and working very hard towards disseminating this knowledge for all the practicing doctors. And unfortunately, lack of interest, or I don't know, it's an unglamorous topic or chapter. There's no glamour in it. But I wish more people would attend, because this is so important in day-to-day practice.
Right.
We face this every day. Any one of the situations we face every day. So I wish more and more people would attend, and we would, of course, now we are very happy Central IP has dedicated 17th February for us. And we are doing so many events all over India. So it's a great success story for us. Plus, there are so many parallel webinars running today. I have some 3-4 Zoom links on my WhatsApp. So it's sad that, we get sidelined.
Right,
It's such an important topic. And I'm really thankful, sir. You always teach us well. It's something we learn from you and other stalwarts of our medical legal chapter. So thank you, sir.
so
Very
much.
nice.
Thank you,
Thank you so
madam.
much,
Thank you,
madam.
madam. Dr. Bela Verma is one of the committee members at the JJ Hospital Committee of Doctors, where the cases are referred. So, Dr. Bela, madam, one question for you.
Yes.
In what ways we can make aware the police personnel, say, or the doctors, how to go about to make this awareness?
Okay, sir. So what I would, if I were to do it, sir, I would, it has to come, like, suppose JJ में एक rule pass करना है, and the dean does it or whatever. Half the people will follow, half will not follow.
Yes.
There is no fear or whatever it. But if it comes from the government down as a GR or something, as a rule, it will be followed by everyone. So one is from the government, one is from the police commissioner. If they issue a statement that you have to take this seriously and you cannot do an FIR straight away, now there's a rule for preliminary inquiry in the BNSS. So, or the Indian Evidence Act, which has changed now. So a preliminary inquiry is there, and earlier an FIR for murder used to be launched, IPC 302. That is what the Rajasthan doctor who committed suicide, that obstetrician Archana. FIR of 302 was done on her, murder. And that's what she feared, and she panicked and she committed. Now we should know there is no FIR of murder on us which anybody can put. So the new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which has changed, has some good points and had some bad points. The noose around our neck is always there. Please understand, the punishment is harsher, more severe, but if we know the laws and if we have done the right thing, we should not fear. There are ways to prove ourselves. And nobody can arrest us without a preliminary inquiry. Please understand this.
Yes, madam.
So if it comes from the police commissioner or the government, that this is what every police station, police chowki has to put up on their wall, that these are the laws pertaining to medical profession, I think that will help us a lot.
Yes.
Most of them are as ignorant as doctors. And
Yes.
it's not just pediatricians, it is all fields, all
Right.
specialties are ignorant.
Absolutely.
And actually, the surgeons and all have more fear than us because they are more likely to commit errors, you know. So I think it is a combined, a collaborative effort from the entire, and that's why where IMA comes in, the central IMA. I mean, we look up to our central IMA to help us in this regard, coming from the government of India, going to all the states and going to all the police commissioners.
Yes, thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Thank
madam.
you, madam. I wish Dr. Rishi Bhatia, sir, please
So
drop in.
the word important, what word
Yes.
madam said is the documentation. So we should learn the documentation. May not be the a very extraordinary good handwriting, but vital things to be written. That is important. What code of law says, what you have written, legible handwriting.
Yeah, handwriting must be legible. Yeah.
Legible
Very
handwriting.
important. Yeah.
And you should not miss it. The court of law does not experts all in details. Some details लिखना जरूरी भी नहीं है. Not important. If you write grossly, the thing should come whatever they know. Yes, Dr. Rishi Bhatia. Sorry to take your time.
But is it necessary to
Yes.
get the signature of this thing, attender?
Sir, it has always to be signed by you yourself. And if you have counseled a patient,
Yeah, as well as
and he has
attender also,
understood,
that
they
always been
also
true.
have to sign that
yeah.
at this time and date, I was explained everything. Tomorrow they will say, nobody told me. They actually do it in our hospital, huh, sir? In our ward also. हमको कोई नहीं बताया बच्चा serious है. So that is something. Even if my lecturer has explained, they say हमको कोई नहीं बताया. Then I look at my lecturer. Then they say, no, madam, we have explained everything.
Dr. Davarkar, sir, please be with us for a few minutes. Please be. We would like to have inputs. Don't leave, sir. I saw his message, therefore I said, sorry to intervene, Dr. Bela, madam. Nicely said. Yes, I think so. If I'm not forgetting, one of the surgeon, Rishi Bhatia is a surgeon, I think so. Right, the doctor?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. Sir, this is a welcome move that we observe 17th February as a medical legal protection day. It is a well organized day, and I hope that all over India it will be celebrated not only by the IAP but also by IMA and the Surgical Society and other societies of the. Your talk is very elaborate. You have included all the Supreme Court judgments, and nicely you have elaborated BNS pertaining to the medical legal profession. One thing I have observed that in 106, they have mentioned RMP. RMP means they have defined it as doctor registered in National Medical Commission. It means doctors of other pathies have been excluded from Section 106. What's your comment?
Yes, because in the one of the webinar of IMA, I said this thing only, but I said because there's one act which is Drug and Cosmetic Act, which also defines the registered medical practitioners. And when it is defined, there's one council also, Maharashtra Medical Council, the Maharashtra Medical Practitioner Act, which includes actually all pathis. So this is a controversial, debatable issue. But what I feel that registered medical practitioner means probably depending on their councils, on their state medical practitioner act, they include in in Maharashtra, it is under the A, B, C, D, E, part 1, part 2, that way. So it is there, it is explained in there. So probably what I feel, this is promoted by IMA as well as many allopathies, but what I feel, because we do have the services of the other pathis also, and whatever the circulars issued by those councils of their respective pathis, what they mention, they are allowed to practice modern medicines as per the curriculum when they studied. So, but that is again is a gray area. So probably what I feel, if any other pathis are listening, they should obtain a GR from their councils stating that they are the registered medical practitioners correlated with NMC. So that is a gray area. I will not extrapolate that, but that is what I feel, personal feel, because one of the case, where one of the non-allopath have given the blood, but depending on the Drug and Cosmetic Act, where the registered medical practice was defined, and therefore the court took that into consideration and said ki yes, there is a registered medical practitioner. So probably that way the
So,
intervention
sir,
will come, so that will come. So
sir,
normally,
dentist,
because this
dentist
is
and all.
because madam, because this is a YouTube live relay, so this is a little bit debatable, controversial. So we either rather discussing on this, we should be, assume that registered medical practitioners, we should stick whatever is defined in the BNS law rather than dissecting it. We should not dissect in this YouTube channel. I feel so. So we will stop
Sir,
that issue here.
Sir, I
Thank
just
you, sir.
wanted to
Thank you.
know,
Thank you.
sir, whether dentist and Ayush doctors come under as RMP.
Yes.
Are they registered in a separate way by
Yeah,
MMC?
they have the councils, they have the other councils, and they have the dental council, they have the council of medicine, and they're registered. Their data is always correlated and coordinated with. We don't know what are the aspects of NMC, but then this data is always there. They have the registration number. Once the doctor who is practicing has the registration number, means he's a registered medical practitioner. So we'll stop here. I think so. We will not go in the discussion on that.
So one more
Yes.
question.
Yes, Vikas,
Hello?
please. Yes,
Uh,
Vikas.
Sir,
And
regarding the data keeping,
Dr. Vikas, before you ask a question, Dr. Dabadkar sir wants to leave. We will just have a 1 minute comment from him, and he has to go for his urgent work. Dr. Dabadkar sir, please.
No, of course, that question is more important. I do agree, Vikas. But Dr. Hemant Gangolia, please accept my compliments. You have given all these things in very capsulated form. And as somebody pointed out, this is a one-day CME or a whole day conference as such. But you tried to cover all these points in a, I mean, very short fashion. Dear Hemant and all dignitaries, to start with, law is difficult. Second thing, understanding medical legal laws are really difficult. Third thing, their interpretation is difficult, and everybody interprets in different way. So that's we are becoming doctors are becoming very pitiable. So I am very happy that medical legal cell of IAP is there to help us, and especially Hemant Gangulia from our district. He is really great asset for us. I congratulate you, Hemant Gangulia. Whatever best you are doing, I really appreciate this, and my best wishes are always with you. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you
you,
very much, all
sir.
dignitaries.
We have learned many things from you also.
thank you, sir.
You are a
Thank you, sir.
Pitama. He is a Pitama of IP Raigad branch.
नहीं यार नहीं. Can I leave Hemant
Yes,
for
yes,
some
yes,
Please,
sir.
please,
Thank you.
please.
Yes, sir.
Chalo,
Yes, Vikas, go
Srinivasan
on.
sir and everybody, please leave.
Yes,
Yes.
Vikas.
Sir,
Vikas.
regarding the data keeping, there is a new, I can say AI or innovation where you get a cashless interface where you can write the notes on a tab and that is automatically saved in the cloud. But the company claims that it is useful because it can be edited in future. So what is the legal value of such cashless interface, whether they are legal or illegal?
See, this is a very tricky question. If anybody is present on this Zoom dais, if he wants to answer this question, it is welcome. What I feel, and it is a very this issue. Every time I say, whenever you have using this platform, you should have a memorandum with them, and that memorandum should classify and state whatever the things which are essentially mentioning the legality of that platform. And if that is signed by both the parties, then that is a safe side for us to keep that document in future if anything happens against us. So that is the only way to go. Regarding one more thing is that whether cloud data, we are not aware of whether that agency is using that data to give to any third party. So again, in the memorandum or whatever whenever we use that platform, we should have written document. We should mention what are the services offered by them, what we are going to use, what they are going to use of their data. It should be always in the written format. So they say
That is
always,
risky.
no, they will always say, no, we are keeping confidential. But we should have in those words. And if we are having, whatever they may write, whatever they should write, whatever the language, whatever the words they want to use, they may be using it. But it should be for us to keep it the safe side. So if anything is there, so we can just have that document. Dr. Sri sir was saying something.
No, it is not foolproof because you never know when it can be modified, and as you have correctly mentioned, we don't know its legal implications.
No clear-cut guidelines if I am right.
No, but there is the NMC has issued some telemedicine guidelines. One should go through it. I have not studied it properly, so you may go through it. Whatever I explained, whatever the experience I had, what are the practical things I have learned. So I think so. The other people are there. I think so. I will just name Dr. Prasanna Wag is there. Dr. Alka Mane Madam is there. Dr. Samir Sadawarti is there. Dr. Gopal is there, and some Dr. I don't know what is this. Rinaya is there. If anybody wants to express themselves or comment, they are welcome. It is open for them. Anybody. And then lastly, we'll go to Nishigan.
So thanks, Gangulia sir. It was a nice topic. For some time, I have to go to other webinar seminar, so could not attend 100%. But whatever I learned, definitely a new thing. As Bella Madam said, the same thing, that something new always comes from your talk. So definitely few things to learn specifically about documentation part, and should know and should not ignore the things happening around. So thanks for having this wonderful webinar from the Raigad IAP along with the IAP medical chapter. And we will have in next few days further more CMEs and webinars are there. Yeah. Thanks very much, Vikas Moja sir also.
Thank you, Samir sir. Thank you so much. You are always helpful.
Thank you, Samir. Dr. Rajesh wants to say something. Dr. Rajesh has made his video on. Anybody else? Otherwise, we will have comment from Dr. Nishikan and concluding remarks by Dr. Rajendra, and we will conclude the session.
So before sir, Nishikant sir, I just forgot to mention his name. Nishikant sir is a very good friend of mine, and he cordially accepted our invitation to co-organize this CME. Because of his blessings and the efforts of Rajan Chandrakar sir, this CME was possible. Thank you, Nishikant sir.
Dr. Nishikan, we look forward for your blessings from Kumbh. Dr. Nishikan, if you are there.
Nishigan, are you there? No, I don't think so.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. Dr. Rajendra sir, please give vote of thanks and conclude sessions with your blessings and comments.
Thank you so much, dear Dr. Gangolia sir. In fact, I would like to thank Dr. Vikas More, our president of IAP Raigad, and Dr. Nishiganda Athole, the president of Raigad Medical Association, for taking initiative of organizing this virtual CME related to medical issues in clinical practice under the able guidance of none other than Dr. Hemant Gangolia sir. I would like to thank the invited guests, Dr. J.K. Gupta sir. He is the president of Medical Legal Chapter IAP India. Dr. Satish Sharma sir, he is secretary of Medical Legal Chapter IAP India. Our very own senior colleague, Dr. Chandrasekhar Davarkar sir, Dr. Ramesh Patel sir of Raigad Medical Association, all respected dignitaries on the dais. There were so many dignitaries on this dais and the delegates. Of course, I would like to thank Dr. Neha. She is not there on this platform, but she was very useful in doing the advertisements and advocacy of this virtual CME. Of course, Dr. Vishal, who is the wizard of this online CMEs. And lastly, thank you so much, Dr. Hemant Gangolia, sir, our dear pediatric colleague from IAP Raigad. Thank you so much. And I declare that CME, this virtual CME is over.